In this video, we're gonna go over 2 different shoes and which one should you choose. We'll start out first with the Boston 13. I have put over 77 miles in this shoe. I have run trails in this shoe, both shoes actually. I've run trails in this shoe, don't recommend it, but I did kind of beat it up so you can kind of see a little bit of it. This shoe drops on the adidas.com and I believe in store on May the 6th. It also comes with, I believe, a colorway, like apparel colorway, like package. It has 36 stack in the back. It is listed on the shoe. It is a 6mm drop. It weighs 9.4 ounces for my men's size 10. Has the energy rods going through the shoe, just like the previous edition. It has 13% more Like Strike Pro than the Boston 12 did. Also a new updated upper and a new updated tongue and a new updated light traction. I don't know if they're going away from Continental grips or not, but it seems like the last couple of shoes have been decreasing the Continental grip. The Pro 4 was the first shoe to come out with this light traction, so it's the same as the Pro 4. What I loved about the Boston 13, I really enjoyed the new tongue. I enjoyed the grip that is that light traction. I took this out on a wet and rainy track and I didn't have any problems with slipping or sliding. Padding around the heel that I enjoy more comfort, more structure around my ankles. The upper was breathable for me. I didn't have a problem with it. So we'll move on to what I hated about the shoe. I really could not stand that every step that I took in the shoe, the way that the shoe is made, because this Achilles V box is so steep that when you press on if you're a heel striker, especially if you press, it opens the shoe up. Now, I didn't try to do the runner's knot or use this extra eyelet, so I don't know if that would help. I would assume it would. It was just something, I've never done that for a shoe, and I'm kind of stubborn and I don't want to change. That's the only discomfort thing that I didn't like with the shoe. I didn't like the fact that it did that. Let's shift over to the Evo SL. I have it in the white and black colorway. I just felt like it looks the cleanest. Anyways, 88 miles in this shoe so far. I've taken it out on long runs. I've actually ran on a trail with it as well. I don't recommend it, but this shoe retails at $150. It has a 7mm drop. It weighs 8.2 ounces, which is only about 1 ounce, 1.2 ounces lighter than the Boston 13, but you definitely feel it. There's no energy rods in this shoe, and the grip is just Continental, and I don't know if this is as well. I would assume it is Continental because it feels very similar to this, it's just a different color, but there is more exposed foam on this shoe rather than the 13. What I loved about the Evo SL, I love that this whole shoe is this Light Strike Pro. The Light Strike Pro might be my favorite foam in all the shoes combined. I also really like the Diadora Gara carbon foam, but that's a super shoe. I really liked how light this shoe is. It's, like I said, it's 8.2 ounces. It's an ounce lighter than the Boston 13, but you do feel it. Compared to a lot of shoes, this is gonna be, lighter than that everyday trainer. I appreciate how big the toe box is. It's pretty roomy. Some people like that, some people don't. I've always been on the side that I would like to have more room for my toes to spread out and have the ability to, if I land wrong or whatever, like I can kind of shift my foot around in the shoe. Some people think that because the toe box is a little big, it's harder to get a good lockdown in the shoe. I didn't have that problem. I didn't have any heel slippage or raising or anything like that. What I hated about the shoe, it's not really that I didn't hate anything about this shoe. It is a little slippier in the rain, to be expected, because there is some exposed parts of the shoe, but this is almost like a carpeted feel in a way. So this is like the only part of the shoe that's kind of slippy. The Continental does give you that grip. ASMR. Just a little bit slippy on the track one time when I went out. It was a little wet and rainy. Nothing too bad. It's not like the Gel Nimbus 26 or the 25s if you have that shoe. I do not wear that shoe in the rain. The other thing that I would say that people would probably not like about this shoe, this tongue does slip down like the Boston 12. It's not as bad, I don't think, because I hated that on the Boston 12, but it doesn't bother me as much on the Evo. It's still definitely like, you'll look down and you'll be like, oh wow, my tongue is midway into my shoe. And some people hate that, some people don't like it. That's probably the only knock with the shoe. Probably could tie it a little tighter to help minimize that, but there's nothing really hateful about the shoe. It's very simplistic, it's very minimalistic. It looks like that Evo $500 shoe. In conclusion, there definitely is use cases to the specific runner on which shoe should you choose, but I will say the better shoe is this Evo SL. It's $150, it's $10 cheaper. It does everything that this shoe can do. It's lighter, the foam's better, but the type of use case that I would recommend the Boston 13 to over the SL would be this. If you're the kind of person who only wants a 1-to-2 shoe like ratio, or I'm sorry, shoe rotation, this being your daily, your track, your tempo, your super long extra miles that you don't want to wear your super shoe for, and then have the race shoe, this can be you. If you're gonna wear this until like 400 to 500 miles and that's what you do with every pair of shoes, then this one. I think it checks a lot of those boxes. It's a great shoe for all the necessities with training. I enjoyed taking it out on the track. I didn't have a problem with it. I wear the shoe to Orange Theory to work out in. I think it's a great gym shoe because of that. Not necessarily to getting to like weightlifting, like, you know, Olympic lifting or anything, but like just to go to Orange Theory or, you know, even walk around the neighborhood, you know, go on vacation. This is a decent shoe. And it can kind of check a lot of the boxes that you'll use it for. If you're the type of person who wants a lightweight, more comfortable, squishy ride, this is the shoe for you. There's a reason why they came out with this shoe to be the training shoe equivalent, like little brother to the $500 SL. Mimics a lot of that same technology. It looks very similar to that shoe. Adidas is setting records with the Evo, and I imagine a lot of the athletes are using this as their go-to trainer. If you're looking for like other competition between brands in these shoes actually inadvertently, unintentionally compete with each other because of the price point, and they can both do very similar things. I would say like a competitor for the Boston 13 is gonna be like that Nova Blast 5 or like the New Balance Rebels or even like a Nike Pegasus. Some people are like gung-ho for the Rebel and some people are gung-ho for the Nova Blast 5, and if you love the Boston 12, you're probably gonna like the Boston 13. There's not too many different updates to make you like not want this shoe. And I think that Adidas, the reason why the Evo SL is doing so well is because Adidas doesn't have that 40 plus stack height shoe, like 40 to 44, 40 to 46, that isn't that $300 Prime X like other brands do. Like I think it's just the Brooks Glycerin Max is that, you know, max cushion shoe. The Nike Invincible has that, you know, it's a $180 to $190, or maybe like even the Pegasus Premium or the Super Blast from Asics. Adidas doesn't have that good competitor, but this definitely can compete with those kind of shoes. It does very similar things, but it's lighter and it's cheaper. So if you're keeping it under 15 miles, I'm not saying you can't run more than 15 miles in this shoe as a training shoe, but you might reach for something else. Under 15, 13 miles to do track workout, to do maybe an easy long run, I think this shoe fits it all. It really can get it done. It can act as a daily as well. And I think that at that price point, it just kills a lot of other shoes in the market. So those are my thoughts on the shoes. Like I said, to be the last conclusion, the SL is a better shoe. This is it's like a Swiss Army knife. It can kind of do it all, but it's a jack of all trades, but not a master of one, I guess is a good way to put it. You can do about everything you want, but there's always something better, and it always comes down to the runner. You have to find your specific use case for the different shoes. Yeah, that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have some kind of clarity going into this and what shoe that you're going to buy next. I hope you have a great day. That's all for this one. Have a good one.